Hello, friends. I am John, and I am the 3D 80s kid. Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 36. Today's episode is going to be a VR for Jake at Legends Never Die, who happens to be a Sandlot super collector. So I had to wear this awesome t-shirt that my wife bought for me of Hambino, Hamilton Porter with the 33 Gaudi style.
I'm the Green Bambino!
Hope you like that one, Jake.
Yeah, truly.
Jake asked us to show a sampling of what makes our collection. So let's get started.
Phase one.
So phase one of my collection is going to be my childhood years, which would be 1983 to 1991.
Way back.
From the ages of 9 to 17. And I am going to summarize those years with this stack of cards. To start out, my
first wax packs I was opening were 83 Donruss, which unfortunately I never did get the Wade Boggs or the Ryan Sandberg rookies, and was kind of disappointed of opening so many packs and not getting a complete set. In 1984, I ended up just going for a factory set of 1984 Fleer. And at that time, I also made my first purchase of basketball cards, which, since there were no major sets out at that time, I used a catalog by Pacific Trading Cards, which at that time, long before they produced their own cards in the 90s, they were a baseball card distributor. And through them, I ordered the brand new into the box factory set of 81, 82 Topps. It was either this or the 80, 81 set, and I opted for these cards because I wanted to play with them. I didn't want the little 3-panel minis. Next up, in 84, was my first football card set, which was 84 Topps. Ended up the factory set there. And then 85, saw the purchase of an 85 Fleer factory set. Didn't really get much of anything for baseball or football that year. And then I had a couple of gap years. 86 and 87 were my 7th and 8th grade years. And I did not buy another set of baseball cards until 1988 with the Topps baseball factory set. And then I also picked up a football set with the Topps football factory set from 88. 1989 saw the purchase of 89 Fleer factory set, as well as my re-entry into opening wax packs. Opened some of 89 Bowman. They were a bit oversized cards. 89 Donruss. And quite a bit of 89 Topps. Also saw another purchase of a basketball set with the Fleer factory set for $89.90. And that leads into then football cards. I had a few wax packs of 89 Topps, but the majority of all was opened by the ton because it was everywhere to the point that it was being put on sale even for less than the normal 45 cents a pack in 89. They were on sale for cheaper to get rid of them. Was 89 Pro set. It had Bear Sanders, Deion Sanders, Troy Aikman rookie cards. Of course, being a great Eric Thomas, rest in peace. 1990 was where opening the packs just went insane. My mom actually started getting into it with me, and we were buying basically everything. Nate Bowman, Donruss, Fleer, tons of that. The fancy new product of Leaf, Score, had to chase down one of those 697 boat cards. Sport Flicks were opened that year, as well as Topps and Upper Deck. Now, I didn't notice I skipped 89 Upper Deck because I did not actually buy the packs that year. The fact that they were $1 compared to the other ones being like 50 cents, it was like, oh, I can get twice as many cards of these other guys for the same price. So, oops, missed out on the ever getting a Upper Deck rookie rookie. But also, then in basketball, saw the opening of a ton of the 90 hoops. Those things were everywhere for purchase. Back then, I had no idea this card had any significance. Not aware. That's Jordan right there, the only time wearing the number 12 jersey because his jersey was stolen that evening. There was also the introduction of Skybox cards that year. This one's a bit fancier with nice photos on the back. They're more like personal photos. Then in football, the most plentiful one for me was Pro Set once again. Also opened the Fuse 4, as well as 90 Topps. Things got so nuts with backpacks that year that not knowing anything about hockey did not hinder us from still buying a box of each of these products. 90 Score and Upper Deck. So I've actually got a few Yager reviews from each set, as well as a couple other guys, but he's quite a high profile. 91 saw me tapering off heavily. That was my junior year of high school. And I only recall really buying about a box each of these products, which would have been 91 Score baseball, and then the 91 Fleer football, which honestly has got to be one of the ugliest sets ever made, with all of these just green cards with the player in the middle. So besides that, the only other real notable collection item I had, other than some random retail and food cards that were acquired, as well as a few other random cards with good players. I don't remember how I got them exactly, because at the time I would have had access to one local card shop and a very small baseball card show that would have been in the middle of my small hometown, maybe twice in 89, 90. But I also was somehow able to compile a relative, for the time, super collection of Dale Murphy Atlanta Braves cards, starting with a couple copies of his rookie, and then one of his second year, where he also turned the rookie catcher's card because he played so few games, as well as a full run of all of his major issues of Topps, Donruss, Fleer, Sport Plates, Score, Later, Upper Deck, every major issue he had in the Braves uniform. If you want to see this in full detail, this was, I believe, episode 30.
That is my childhood collection.
Phase 2.
Phase 2 of my collection would be 2021, when I first got out the boxes of my childhood collection and started looking at them and then deciding where to go from there.
Where the hell did he go?
My major project for that year was collecting raw cards of NBA Hall of Famers or folks on a Hall of Fame trajectory, and then ultimately getting them graded by HGA, which was the only decent option I had at the time.
That's better than nothing.
I ended up selling those cards then in 2022 as I embarked on phase 3, but I did retain 4 of them that I wanted to keep. The most notable being this guy here that I've mentioned before, the David Robinson rookie card. I did not collect the 89 hoops that this came from, and this card just shot up in value since he came out of the gates roaring once he finished his what ended up being a 2-year Navy commitment, since he was too tall for his submarines training that he had gone through that had a maximum height requirement of 6'5", which
Too tall! Whoa.
he had one of the best rookie seasons of all time statistically, and the Spurs, had a massive number of wins turnaround. So his card shot up to where, according to Beckett's, it was 30 plus, but you can find it anywhere. Anyone's selling one for less than 50.
I'm Crazy Webby, and my prices are insane!
So I was pretty excited when I was able to pick this one up when I first came back to cards, I believe for $2 raw.
Prices have been dropping all morning.
Yeah, this one and 3 others, which I have on the shelf up here, is all that remains of that 2021 project. The rest of it, you can basically see it help fund the rest of the things on my wall, which I will get into in a moment.
To be...
Yeah, I guess it's kind of a phase 2B. When I knew I was getting out of the basketball card arena, and before I found my way to phase 3 fully, I took a little detour into pop culture cards. You can check those out if you want, if you've got an interest. Episodes 5 and 6.
They're great, Grandpa.
That's also the time period where I did pick up these 4 Beatles cards, which was my part of my VR for sentimental cards for Don's Field of Dreams.
If you build it, he will come. For phase 3 is...
But going into now phase 3, that would be what you mostly see on the wall, which is vintage baseball cards.
Total strangers sell you things like signed vintage baseball cards.
So for my first project of that genre, I ended up going towards a Willie Mays run.
Say hey, Willie Mays.
Which within 2022 alone, I was able to at least achieve all in SGC slabs up here, as well as the 2 I'm holding. A Willie Mays run that goes from 58 tops to 73 tops. So it captures all of his San Francisco cards as well as his single Mets season in Topps.
That's cool!
Anyone who watches my channel regularly knows that I am in love with the base card design of 1960 Topps. It's all these cards on these two shelves here, and I just pulled as a sample the one I thought was the most beautiful of the set. It appeared in my VR for Eric at Four Leaf Cards, the Ed Matthews. I just love him with where it's got the batting pose with the full color photo and then a nice fielding pose. And I love all these cards with the alternating letter colors and then the old time logos in the corner. It's just feels straight out of the 60s.
My design was perfect.
My collection there is actually complete in my eyes, as I collected all of the player Hall of Famers that I wanted, as well as a couple notable non-Hall of Famers.
Congratulations!
I moved on to collecting Hall of Famers that I didn't collect in 60 or didn't start their career early enough yet in 72 Topps. First appearance was for a VR for that 70s show. Shout out to John on that awesome program to listen to.
Is it awesome?
It's pretty awesome.
And I've gone back in time a little bit to collect additional Hall of Famers with 53 Bowman Color.
Photographies for studs.
So besides those sets, then I also keep my eye out for other cool things. Like if you've seen me present here, the Lajoie cards from 1930 Parker Brothers game.
You don't remember? You dumbass.
Created in 1913.
And then the other cool card I was able to get was this 56 Ted Williams. Gotta love the gun show with the Ted Kluszewski. And if you hadn't seen before, I collected a little run of guys with my last name that played Major League Baseball, their rookie card.
Smith.
Definitely not.
Only 3 men.
Besides sticking to those sets, I just look for things that strike me as cool and affordable within my budget.
Yeah, seems reasonable.
I think that pretty much sums up what makes my collection my collection. So thanks, Jake, for putting this out in the community.
Jake, thanks.
And everybody who watched, thank you. And I will see you next time.
Okay, kids. See you next time.